City of Lawrence Code Committee is in session. It's October 7th, 2019 at 6 p.m. Looks like we have a quorum. Tonight we'll be hearing proposal number 11.
Proposal number 11, 2019, introduced by Councilor Chevlot, a proposal for an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, amending the Lawrence Municipal Code to establish a preferential street at Oakland Hills Court and Oakland Hills Drive.
Thank you. Looks like Councilor Chevlot's in the audience. He's the sponsor of this proposal. Would you like to get up and speak on this, please?
Thank you. It's probably important to give a little bit of a history on this, which may make sense of why I'm asking it to be amended from the original version that was passed a couple months ago, maybe. So I was contacted by a resident in this community asking about a stop sign at this particular intersection. And if you remember, DPW as well as police came out, looked at it, and identified that, yes, it is suitable, or it is falls in the guidelines where you could put an all-way stop. And so we did. And within about 2 days, I received a phone call from a resident in that particular neighborhood by name of Mr. Stone, asking why we did this. And so I explained to him what the process was, and he then shared with me some history of this particular intersection. Subsequently, I received a letter here at the city offices signed by about 30 residents in this particular neighborhood. Not necessarily complaining, but they were very concerned about why we put a stop sign up here when before there was a stop sign at this particular intersection about 15 years ago that the constituents contacted former administration, I don't remember who it was, about the safety aspect of this. And so I went out and I met with them and looked at their situation. And essentially what it is that this particular intersection has an incline, and I'm not going to be accurate in the degree, but it's a pretty heavy incline going up to this main thoroughfare. And the issue was 15 years ago, hasn't changed. It's still today, is that in inclement weather, residents were unable to get out of that particular cul-de-sac because of stop sign, and so they were stopping, and in some cases they were sliding back, and in one particular case, according to one of the neighbors that I spoke with, they slid back down into another car when they were stopped. And so the purpose of this is to come before this code committee and amending this back to where there will be there'll still be a stop sign going south and going north, but this particular street that's going west or coming out of the cul-de-sac would not have a stop sign, and it's purely for safety reasons. So I've talked with DPW, also spoke with PD about this. They're kind of ambivalent. They said whatever works best for the constituents in that neighborhood, they're fine with. And again, I did not know this history. So essentially there was a stop sign there. They petitioned before this council 15 years ago, and they had it removed. Unfortunately, there was no record of that in our notes, in our code book. We couldn't find it. So I don't know how and why it happened. And so I told them that I would come before this body and present an amended ordinance where we would just remove that one particular stop sign that's spelled out here in this amended ordinance.
Thank you, sir. Well, you're up there. Does any councilor have any questions for Councilor Chevlot?
Yeah, I do. Councilor Chevlot. So what you're asking is that it be put back the way it was?
Correct.
Prior to?
Correct.
3 months ago?
Correct.
And what was the purpose for making it the way it is now?
The one resident that contacted me about this was concerned because it was a school bus stop. And we've had these before, but in looking back at it, yes, it's a school bus stop, but as I looked at it close, there's already a two-way stop there, and under state statute, whenever there's a school bus, all 4 lanes have to stop unless it's a divided medium. So that was her initial request. But again, unbeknownst to me, getting a letter signed by 30 people that have been there for 15-plus years seemed like a pretty reasonable request.
So, just so I understand, for the purpose of the way it is now, was initiated by one resident, but now you've got multiple residents that are unhappy with the way it
Correct.
is now
Correct.
and want it to go back.
Correct.
Any other questions? Thank you, Counselor Shevlin.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we recommend to the full council approval of proposal number 11.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Counselor Shevlin. I'm sorry, Counselor Wells. Any more discussion? Okay. Sign a vote for a yay. Raise your hand. Looks like it's unanimous. I'll make a recommendation that let's go before the full council, proposal number 11. Adjourned.